Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm freezing. I'm freezing. I am freezing. It is ice cold in this house. Okay, so I was reading some messages. I haven't read them in a few days because I've been busy trying to get this Reuben project off the ground. But this morning I took like 15 minutes and tried to read through some of the messages. And, Ace, you're getting dog hair in my eyeballs. Please, can you back up? I gotta clear up a few misconceptions here, okay? And I think that we could all stand to hear this. All right. First one. A girl in her early 20s writes to me that she's getting married and her and her fiance had a fight, something happened, yada, yada, yada. The point is, she says, if he loved me, he wouldn't hurt me. Okay. I gotta call bullshit on this. I'm sorry. I know that Pinterest wants you to believe that when someone really loves you, they will never hurt you. This is not real life. We are human beings with emotions and feelings. We are impulsive. We say hurtful things at times. We can be inconsiderate. We sometimes literally just don't know that whatever we're saying or doing will actually hurt you. If I stopped believing that Michael loved me every time he did something that hurt me, Michael wouldn't love me at all, our entire marriage. The thought that because somebody feels love for you means that they would never hurt you is so ridiculous. You are setting yourself up to constantly be disappointed if that is how you are approaching any relationship, friendship, romantic or otherwise. The difference between someone who loves you and someone who does not, when they hurt you, is that the person who truly loves you, it will hurt them too. And they will want to make it right. But the notion that they will never hurt you just because they love you, you can't go through life believing that. You just can't go through life believing that because we are flawed. We are flawed. We are born into this world of the ability to make mistakes, to hurt other people. It is literally like our makeup. And it frustrates me that all of these romantic memes and posts and Pinterest things are setting young people up, especially don't stop looking for love until you find the Carrie Bradshaw love or the Notebook love. Guys, I need to remind you that when the director said cut, Carrie Bradshaw went home to Matthew Broderick. She didn't go home with Christopher Noth. And I need to also remind you that Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams broke up in real life. And she's now whoever, and he's married to Eva Mendes. And this is Hollywood. People will hurt you. People who love you will hurt you. It is how they handle the fact that they hurt you. That should be what you're looking at. Do they acknowledge it? Do they own it? Do they try to fix it? Can they help you move on? But don't believe that they won't hurt you just because they love you. Which brings me to my next message. I got a message from somebody who said that they feel forsaken by God. Now, I know that I say Coffee Talk is not religious, and it isn't, but I want to just address this because they asked me specifically, and I think it's important because it fits with what we're talking about. I have heard sayings that have inspired me regarding God. One being, when you feel forsaken, remember the teacher is always quietest during a test. Sometimes we feel God is far from us when times are hard. One, because we're not putting the work into the relationship. We're not praying. We're not finding quiet time to speak to God the way we need to. We're not doing our part. So we stand there in peril and heartache going, where are you, God? Why have you forsaken me? And he says, I'm right here. I never left. You're just not looking for me. You haven't been looking for me. The other one that I love is, God, why are you leading me into this storm? And he says, because your enemies can't swim. And sometimes we don't understand why we're going through stormy seas or rough waters, whatever metaphor you want to use. And it's because our enemies can't swim. Where God is taking us, they cannot follow. And sometimes he knows better than we do. I know we like to think we know everything about what our life is going to be, but she said a few things in the letter, in the message, about feeling forsaken and her faith wavering. And I get it. I get it. I really get it. But I'm here to tell you that loving God and believing with your entire heart in God does not mean that life will not be hard. It does not mean that you won't hurt. If believing in God spared us from pain, 97% of the world would feel no pain. Believing in God means you fully understand that even when it's hard, and it will be hard, that you are not alone in that pain. That you are not going through this life alone, no matter how alone you may feel on earth, no matter how alone you may feel with the people who say they are your tribe but have abandoned you. Believing in God ensures that you know that in the scheme of whatever is happening with you, he is on your side. You will never walk alone. Now, I can't convince you of that. I cannot preach you to that. All I can do is promise you that I don't know everything. I don't know much, to be honest. But I do know that a lot of the misconceptions out there come from people who mean well. They want to inspire. They do. They want you to believe that that everlasting love is out there and it means they'll never hurt you. And saying, being in love means never having to say, I'm sorry, and blah, blah, blah. That's all nonsense. Love hurts. Sometimes it downright sucks. Okay? Sometimes you have to apologize 50 times for the same thing. People want you to believe that that knowing God and believing in God means that your life will be pain-free, that you'll become a believer and it'll be like sunny days. No. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Life hurts. You will experience loss. People will hurt you. All of those things are true. All of those things are real, whether you believe in God or not. All I can tell you is if I have tried it both ways. And going through loss and feeling hurt and being disappointed without God is, for me, let me state that, crippling. It was, when you react with no accountability, you are so damaging. You have the capability of being damaging. I was damaging. I can't speak for everybody. Knowing that you will never walk alone in this life, but also knowing that the pain, hurt, and loss will come, okay? It just will. It is part of living. I needed to talk you guys through a couple of those misconceptions. People say, I want a marriage like yours and Michael's, Jamie. I'm marriage goals AF. I love you guys. And I go, I can't be more honest than I am with you guys every single day about how hard this is and about how often I go, who created this institution of marriage? What dowry did you need back in the day that you were like, you know what we should do? We should create a legal binding contract where we legally are stuck together no matter what. Like, who came up with that? Yes, there are days where I'm like, I can't imagine not being married to Michael, like he's my blah, blah, blah. And there are also days where I'm like, Googling, how do I get out of marriage without my mother-in-law knowing? Like, that's real. Real. Sorry. All right. I love you guys so much today. So much. Have a great